Tell me a bit about yourself and what you're going to be talking about today.
Well, my name's Kirk Mulvey, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about this book that I chose. It's called Fade to Black by Alex Flynn. It's a pretty good novel. It's kind of like mystery and action, like a bit of both, because they're trying to find who beat out a window of Alex Flynn, a guy, an HIV positive uh, student in high school. He's bullied a lot, and he has no friends, and he drives to Dunkin' Donuts every morning to get some donuts and some coffee, and that's really the only free time he has. That his mother's not around him, kind of like nagging him and telling him what to do in life. And one Monday morning, when he was on his way to Dunkin' Donuts, he was waiting at a red light at an intersection, and somebody took a baseball bat to his window and seriously injured him and the car that he was driving. And now he was in the hospital, and they were trying to find the suspect that kind of happened or kind of did who committed the crime. So they're kind of looking for him throughout the whole book.
Who are the main characters? Could you list them off and what their personalities were like?
Well, really the main, like the two main characters that are most talked about are Alex Flynn and Clinton. So Alex Flynn is definitely the main character. He's the HIV positive student. He's bullied a lot, and everybody kind of picks on him and calls him names and beats on him. Um, he's round and dynamic, and he's always around, and you always hear about him and how he's doing, and he's kind of like he's really emotional because he's bullied a lot and he doesn't really get much attention. The only attention he really gets is from his mother, and he's kind of tired of her nagging him all the time and trying to tell him how to live his life and whatnot. The other one is Clinton. He's a young boy that goes to school with Alex Flynn. He's kind of round and flat. He doesn't really say much because the cops are trying to get him to tell them a bit more about the whole accident and what happened. What we learn is he didn't actually commit the crime. He's suspected a lot because he threw a rock through the window of the house trying to scare Alex Flynn and his family. Went through his little sister's window and cut her foot and when she got into bed. Um, so he's kind of like the bully towards Alex Flynn, but he's not actually the suspect that committed the crime. He didn't actually hit Alex Flynn's car and Alex with the bat. He said he would never do that, but nobody believes him because of the way he acts around Alex and what he does to him and how he harms him and his family and won't leave them alone.
How would you describe the setting? Did you find any passages that would explain it?
The setting, well, he's it's in Florida. That's where it takes place, is Miami, Florida. It talks a bit about what kind of time setting, like social context. It could be, like this kind of describes when and where it could have taken place. Not really where, but when. This gives us a hint. It's this passage says his talking about his car and how basically this is his only friend. It says my baby is a 3-year-old red Honda CRV with a sunroof. Mom and Dad bought her for my 17th birthday. So that Honda CRV was only made starting like mid '90s and up. So I know it's going to be somewhere between the '90s and the 2000s, somewhere mid range, I would assume. Um, bullying started. It looks like it started really taking place. There's a lot of bullying going on at school. Um, they talk about some TVs and stuff, so really it can't be that old. And obviously, they never made Honda CRVs that old, so it's got to be somewhere between the mid 1990s and early or mid 2000s. I would have to assume.
Could you make any personal or world connections to this book?
I'd have to make a connection between. I had a relative. He's actually deceased now. He um, got this disease. He's from Cape Breton, where I'm from, the small town named Ayrshire. His name's Tyler, and he got HIV from sexual intercourse at a party, and he wasn't really aware what was going on at the time. But anyways, it happened unfortunately that he caught this terrible disease, and he was treated the same way as Alex was, kind of treated as that one kid that you know that one that nobody liked and everybody made fun of because of it, and nobody wanted to be around because they were scared they were going to get this terrible disease, and it's just I find that you can make relate. I just something I could relate to. And this guy, he wasn't really. He was popular at first, and then he turned into be the bad guy and the one that nobody wanted to talk to, and just the loser, if you could say. Um, so it really, that's what I can really make a connection to.
Would you recommend this book to anyone close to you or any viewers?
I could recommend this book. It is a pretty decent book all the way. It makes you want to keep reading for more every time you open the book. Every time you open the cover, it just makes you want to strive for more and just find out that suspect. And it it's a tricky one. It kind of hints that it's Clinton, but it never is. So really, people don't know. I find it's a little bit long and it gets boring until the end. So I mean, there's a few pages I think they could have cut out, but overall, it's a pretty decent book. And I think if people like mystery and kind of interested in these kind of books, sure, then I would definitely recommend it to them.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
See you.